Breaking overnight, the 3 Americans freed in a prisoner swap with Russia back on U.S. soil. They're being checked out right now at an Army medical center near San Antonio. Take a look at this newly released video that shows them all with some loved ones standing with the wrongfully detained flag. Former Marine Paul Whelan was one of the Americans freed.
Looking forward to seeing my family down here and just recuperating from 5 years, 7 months, and 5 days of just absolute nonsense. This is how Putin runs his government. This is how Putin runs his country.
Also freed, Russian-American journalist Alsu Kurmasheva and Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich, whose colleagues were glued to news updates as that release played out. This is the largest prisoner swap between the U.S. and Russia since the fall of the Soviet Union. The newly freed Americans first stepped onto U.S. soil at Joint Base Andrews, where the happy reunions took place. And the deal that took months of negotiations involved multiple countries, 24 people, while the U.S. worked to secure the release of innocent people who were unjustly imprisoned. Vladimir Putin's primary motivation was the release of an assassin who carried out killings on his behalf around the globe.